One could observe a gaggle of geese, a flock of ducks, and a bank of swans, all intermingling, making sounds, moving around within the group, and to the human bystander, it may be viewed as cacophonic chaos. The human doesn't know what each sound and movement is communicating and why. There are just spontaneous shapes, sounds, and movements observed, a flag of wings here, a screeching cackle there, but the overall motivation and meaning of what is happening within the group of animals is unknown by the human. The meaning of the sounds and movements can be theorized but will never be definitely known because the human is, so to speak, in a different sphere of perception than the animals. One could say that life similarly doesn't know or recognize the human play. Life doesn't need to know anything. It just is. It cannot perceive anything because it is not separate from anything. There must be apparent separation in order to perceive. Human bodies spontaneously appear to move and make sounds within the group, but the overall motivations and meaning of the movements and sounds of what is happening is unknown by life. Life is void of meaning. It doesn't need knowing or meaning to be itself. Life, or the Absolute, is complete unknowing. Knowing only appears in the human play, and the human play of separation is just a dream. The meaning of the sounds and movements of each human can be theorized by the human mind but will never be definitely known because there isn't actually any separation. Ever. Who is there outside of the play to definitely know it? The Absolute, so to speak, is a different sphere of perception than the human, and it is all there is. The Absolute is beyond perception. It simply is. And yet, perception ceases to appear. It has no opinion. It has no position or perspective. The Absolute cannot be emulated or known by the human. What you really are, all there really is neutral, unknowing. Absoluteness, no thing seemingly appears as a human play, but the human play of knowing and meaning is just a play, a made-up dream of understanding. It is as true as watching a gaggle of geese, a flock of ducks, and a bank of swans together and believing that a definite knowing of what each sound and movement means exists. It doesn't. How could any human definitely know or understand the motivation of a species beyond its human comprehension? There may be so-called wildlife experts, nothing wrong with that, but all understanding or meaning is variable, dependent upon the observer's knowledge, therefore theoretical. Nobody knows what each sound and movement means. How could you know if you are not a duck or a goose? Enjoy being educated by the so-called expert, but don't rely on any information as absolute truth. There is no ultimate truth, just opinions and perspectives. Some perspectives resonate, some don't. Similarly, how could you ever know definitely the motivations of another human if you are not that other human? In the play, of course, in reality, there are no others. How could anyone know what the human play means if there is only absoluteness? If there is nobody actually separate here to understand, all of the human knowing and understanding of what life is or means is born out of thinking. Although is just output of the brain's personal conditioned variables. Where could definitive understanding or knowing of appearances be in that? The human appearance of separation will always feel insufficient or incomplete somehow because ultimately it is a fabrication, a story in time, just one illusionary perspective within boundless infinity, a ghost. All there is which is and is not simultaneously is the Absolute, and that is just a name for non-existence or boundless freedom. How can non-existence be named? Eternal, impersonal, free, boundless, ishness. Emptiness appearing as form, unreal appearing as real. Boundless wholeness or oneness appearing as separate things. Without definite labels or meaning, there is simply life appearing, exact and precise, perfect unfolding. In the boundaryless freedom of unknowing, there is space for love. Maybe true love is unconditional because it does not know what anything is or should be. Childlike, unknowing, innocence, not a fabricated innocence, a genuine innocence, not a person who claims to not know, but unknowable ishness. Life being itself. Maybe true love is the solution of individual perspective that somehow simultaneously includes every apparent individual perspective.